Alright guys, how's it going? Scapo here with another pair of headphones. This time we're going to be unboxing the Grado SR60Es. Now, the reason I went ahead and bought these is because, recently a buddy of mine wanted some new headphones, and we went to the Richer Sounds, which is kind of the British version of Best Buy down at London Bridge, in order to demo some headphones. And while I was there, I demoed some of these Grados just because I was bored while he was testing his headphones, and I was amazed at the sound on these things. I mean, they look like there's something from the 80s, but they sound really good. But I didn't buy them at first because I was like, I didn't like the look of them. But then that same friend of mine and I went to the Headroom show in London, which is kind of, a headphones can jam thing. And again, I demoed these, and again, I was surprised at how good they actually sounded. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just buy these things. They're inexpensive. They retail for about 70 British pounds or $79 in the US. So they're not very expensive. They won't break your bank. And if you're a huge fan of mids and you don't really care that much about bass, and you don't want a treble blaster either, the Grados are really great. I can really recommend them. So let's go ahead and get into this box somehow. I have no idea how. So let's have a little look around the box first. You got the SR60E, and just looks like a sticker they put on there. They don't have any specs on the outside of the box, which is a little bit annoying. I kind of really wanted to know the specs before I even get the headphones. Actually, specs for these things are relatively difficult to find. You have to go and look for them. But you can see all the awards and things that Grado has won over the years. Not specifically this headphone, although I'm pretty sure the 60s have won awards somewhere. In any case, let's go ahead and get into the box. Oh dear. Here we go. The top just opens. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Oh, it comes with a carrying case. Excuse me. I wasn't expecting that. And there's nothing else in the box that I can see. There's a little, if you actually, oh yeah, there's a little love letter, I suppose. We're gonna throw that back there. Celebrating 60 years of tradition. This is the Grado family, suppose. Yeah, pretty cool. I'll read that later. And hey, wow, and it's a hard carry case too. This is denim material. A hard carry case? I mean, wow, that's really impressive. I'm actually I'm quite impressed, because usually headphones in this range, you don't get a carry case. Like, screw you, you're just getting the headphones and maybe some accessories, and that's it. There they are. Alright, got a little piece of something in there. So, fairly simple presentation. You've got the headphones here. Alright. And you've got the relatively short cable. I'm pretty sure this is like a 4-foot cable, something along those lines. Oh dear. Get the twisty tie off of it. There we go. So you got your 1/4-inch adapter. That's always nice to have. And you got your 3.5-inch jack. Now, one complaint that I've read about on these is that they might not be able to fit into your smartphone. Okay, your smartphone can drive them because it's a 32 ohm headphone, so very easily driven by smartphones. So I've got my old my OnePlus One here, which is dirty as all get out, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and plug it in. Oh, well, it fits me. So it may or may not fit you, but my one doesn't have an actual case on it. It's just got a little hardback thing, if the camera would focus. So My case is very low profile, but keep in mind, if you have a high profile case, it may not fit it. But that probably won't be a problem because you don't want to take these things outside. They are open backed and they leak a lot of sound. You do not want to take these on a bus. You certainly don't want to take them on a plane. I wish my camera would focus. One of these days I'll invest in a better one. But so again, as you can see, they look like something from the 80s, and they do have the SR60E on the ear cup, which is very reassuring because some people apparently they buy the E's and yet they get issued with, you know, either some I's or even just the plain old SR60s, which were originally introduced way back in 1994. So yeah. So they introduced the SR60 in 94, and they updated the entire line of headphones back in 2008 with the I series, and just recently in 2014 they updated again with the E series, and apparently the E series is really good, and from what I've heard, I have to concur. The thing about Grado is I have demoed all of their headphones, just right on up to maybe not the very top of the line, but at least 3 or 4 headphones above these. And as you go up, the sound tends to get more sibilant. It tends to get more and more unpleasant as you go up. So at Headroom, when I was demoing them, the representative, at first he gave me the upper tier of headphones, obviously, as representatives will do, and I didn't like it, and what he kept doing was he kept going down and down and down. And as he went down, I liked the sound more and more and more until we got to the bottom here with the SR60s, and I love them. They're great for mids, anything rock oriented or, you know, maybe metal, jazz, vocals, blues. I'm actually looking forward to listening to some Frank Sinatra on these because I think he's going to sound amazing coming through these. So if you're looking for a relatively inexpensive, simple yet rugged headphone, I mean, you can see how simple these things are. I mean, these sliders are just 2 poles, and at the end of the 2 poles there's a rubber cap. It doesn't get much simpler than this. You've got a L and R, of course, tell you which ear to put them on. The cable is not removable, which originally kind of turned me off, but I'll tell you what, at this price, I don't mind it if the cable snaps because it's so cheap it doesn't even matter. But apparently these things have good survivability, and with this hard case it comes with, which I'm really impressed at, yeah, I'd definitely say it's worth, you know, 79, 70 bucks. So things to watch out for that I've seen people complaining about, again, with the ear cups, if they don't say E, you probably didn't get an E. Also, the driver should be red. I can't see it from here because I can't really see into the ear cups properly, but the driver should be red, and the ear cup should say E. And again, the cables aren't replaceable, so you should be careful with that joint. And again, these are not a bass headphone. They are not gonna be good for things like, you know, dubstep and all that stuff. You know, like, this isn't a bass blaster. So if you're looking for bass, look elsewhere. If you're looking for something that's great for jazz, vocals, things like that, I would definitely suggest giving these a shot or adding them to your collection. So yeah, I'm actually very impressed. These are handmade. They're handmade in Brooklyn, and I really like them, especially for the price. So guys, that was just an unboxing of the Grado SR60. I needed something to cleanse my palate after the X2 fiasco, and I noticed the X2 did not come with a hard carry case, despite it costing 3 times as much as these headphones. Take that, Phillips. In any case, thanks guys for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and give these a good old listen, and I'll give you my impressions of the sound in the description. I really like this case. I really like this case. Good on you, Grado, for this case. It is worth at least 10 quid, maybe 20, of the purchase price. I love this case. I'll put it right there. Grado SR60s, everyone. SR60E. The only part about, well, there are a few things that annoy me about this headphone. I've been living with it for about 2 weeks now. I've been listening to it as much as I can. They sound amazing. Okay? Let's get that out of the way. They sound amazing. You know what? I'm going to plug them in right now. I'm going to play something. You're not going to be able to hear it properly, but let me illustrate something for you. You hear that? Yeah. And that's enough. These things are loud. They are insanely simple to drive. I'm pretty sure they were 32 ohms or something like that. And boy, do they leak sound like no one's business. If you're listening to these, anybody in the room will be able to hear exactly what you're listening to. They almost don't need headphones to know what you're listening to. So, they're loud. We know that. You can almost use them as desktop speakers. And in fact, at one point I was using them as desktop speakers just because I didn't have them on my head, and for some reason I was playing music through them. I can't remember, but I remember being able to hear them clearly even though they're sitting on the table. Now, before I get any further into the good stuff about this headphone, I'm gonna tell you what I really don't like about this headphone. And Grado, I hope you're listening. You see these earpads? Get out of the way, wire. You see these earpads? Yeah. These foam shits? Okay? Yeah. See that? No. 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 I want to tear them apart because I fucking hate them so much. I can't wear these headphones for more than a half an hour because these earpads just irritate my ears. You can adjust the clamping force as much as you like. Okay? That's the glory of this headphone design. It's really simple. You can just bend it, okay, and they will just adjust to your head. These earpads are awful. Grado, for 10 or 20 bucks more, I would have been happy to pay for some velour earpads or some leather or whatever the heck you can find. Anything but this. Okay? And yes, there are a ton of mods and stuff you can do online to make them more comfortable, because I've looked that up. I'll probably be trying a couple of the mods after I'm done with this review. But Grado, please, you go through the trouble of making your headphones awesome, and then you give us these for earpads? Come on, Grado. You gotta do me better than that. Okay? You gave me an awesome case with the headphones. That's awesome. Charge me 10 bucks more and give me some decent earpads. Please. I want to be able to listen to your headphones for more than a half an hour. Okay? Now. Also, detachable cables, please. That would be great. Okay? I like these headphones. I really do. And the reason why I'm so upset is because really with these earpads, and you can't just go and buy new brainwaves or something like that. You can't just go and buy new earpads for the Grados that I can see. Okay, you gotta go and you gotta modify them. Okay, and if anybody knows where I can go to get like decent earpads for these things and I don't have to mod them myself, please link it in the comments. Help me out, help a brother out, because I like these headphones. But I can't wear them for more than a half an hour because these earpads just they chafe, and it's just awful. My roommate won't let these near his head because he knows how awful that material feels. And I don't blame him. Now, moving on. As much as these earpads irritate me, a few albums that I own have just been brought to life by these headphones. The soundtrack for Tengami, for example. The soundtrack for The Last Samurai. I've got another soundtrack, actually it's a couple of them by Christopher Tin, Calling All Dawns, and The Drop That Contained the Sea. Anything that doesn't require a whole lot of bass is gonna sound amazing on these. Okay, let's get that out of the way. They're not treble blasters, but they're not bass cannons at all. These things are wonderful at mid-range. Okay, everything in the middle, human voices, violins, pianos, guitars, things like that. Okay, if you're looking for wubs, these are not your headphones for wubs, guys. Not at all. Okay, but if you're looking for stuff that replicates human voices just beautifully, okay, or if you want to hear that violin, you know, these are just, oh man, they're gonna do it for you. If you can manage to keep them on your head for longer than a half an hour. The way I describe these headphones is like, it's like looking through a glass window that's just been cleaned. But there's a bunch of sun glare coming through the window as well. So you can look through the window, but you can't look for too long because you're going to hurt your eyes. Now, if I could replace these earpads with something else, you can take the sun glare away. Like, you know what I mean? I know it sounds like I'm ripping on these things just because of the earpads, but really, they got everything right but the earpads. And the problem with Grado is, that's the problem they have with every last set of earphones they have, or headphones they have, is this material on the cup. Please, Grado, do something about it. Because when people have to modify your product just to make it comfortable, you've done something wrong. I shouldn't have to modify your product at all. Here, look. These are the ships. Philips SHP 9500s. They're going to get a review of their own in a minute, okay? I don't have to modify these at all. You see people modifying these earpads? Yeah, you can, but it's not necessary. I haven't had a problem with these earpads yet. Okay? They kind of, they're getting a little bit fuzzy because of the hairs on my face. But other than that, I don't have to modify these. They are perfectly comfortable on their own out of the box. I could say that for any other pair of earphones or headphones I have. Grado, please, I'm begging you, do something about these earpads. If you do, I will love you. These are going to stay in my collection. And I'm going to find a way to make these earpads more comfortable. But for now, they're going to go back into their case, and I'm going to move on to the ships. The Philips SHP 9500s. Alright guys, so, am I telling you to go out and buy these headphones? If you don't mind this material rubbing up against your ear, sure, why not? It's $100, you get a free case, They're very good headphones, and as long as you're working in a quiet environment where people can't hear what you're listening to, yeah, sure, absolutely, they are worth adding to your collection. Are they catch-alls? Are they going to do every genre of music great? No, they're not. They're very much meant for specific types of music. But for those types of music, these are incredible, and you should probably add them to your collection if you haven't already. And they didn't used to give you that case, that awesome denim case, but now they do. So now is a good time to pick up the Grado SR60E. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. See you later.